think it's important to remember that the goals were important, not exactly just getting what was originally envisioned. Goals matter, not necessarily the high blue sky dream. Let's take what we just did here, using our logic and all this stuff, and again, emphasizing that Auburn fans need to go and read the articles specifically. And you can, by the way, if you're ever wanting to see the Board of Trustees agenda and what they're voting on, what they're discussing, it's available to the public. So take that opportunity if you're really interested in this type of stuff. But we're talking about potential to be voted on improvements for Neville Arena. Now, this one's got a bit of a loopy timeline. How long have we been talking about this, Austin, for a while? It feels like a while.
Feels like 5 years. I think it's in reality like 3, but
yeah. It's been a minute. It's been certainly a minute, dating back to February of 2022. Do you remember the certain really big event? I guess I shouldn't say event, thing that happened that got secured around that time. Do you remember what was happening?
It got secured in February 2022.
Someone got secured for lifetime, quote unquote.
Oh, yeah. Head coach Bruce Pearl is back.
Yes, Bruce Pearl had his contract extended by former AD Alan Green. Again, folks, I know some people would say maybe it wasn't the best tenure, but you do need to thank him for that. So I'm going to continue to give him the props for that, for signing to a quote unquote lifetime contract, or at least to a 2030, I think is when they signed it to. That would effectively probably bring him to the end of his career, which he said he wanted to be at all along. So there was a lot of speculation, maybe even confirmation at the time, that Coach Pearl said as part of the agreement there was in, I guess, not writing maybe, but whatever, we're going to invest in these spaces for you guys for even more. And there was a lot of talk about what that was going to be, maybe something for the students. We've already covered that, how that's been even in today. But obviously, this has been something that's been flirting around, and I feel like it's been a long time that we've been discussing, is something going to happen? And the idea was expansion of a practice gym or an addition of a practice gym. It obviously became quite the challenge because they've approved the investigation of this to figure out what could be done, and it's taken quite some time. But here's the other thing, folks. About this time, what else happened? 3 letters. NIL came along. And in fact, Bruce Pearl, I think it was that upcoming season. Am I right on that, Austin? That where he addressed this?
On pausing things, kind of?
Yes.
I want to say it was, yeah, I don't know if it was the year after or that coming year, but it was not super long after that.
Yes. So Bruce addressed that he wanted to switch the focus financially from focusing on improvements for that to NIL. And thankfully, that's the case. Folks, one Janai Broom may not be here had it not been for that focus on that. Let's just call it like it is, because he's been here for 3 years now. So that would have been
a sizable commitment.
Sizable commitment. I'm not saying Janai was the only reason we made that. There are other players, and this goes the same for women's basketball, for all the other stuff. But let's be thankful. So for those of you that frustrated wanted to see something like this, even Bruce said, pause, handle this first, and it gives you more time to really assess what we need to do. So Board of Trustees meeting, obviously, like we talked about with football, if you haven't listened to that, if you're watching a replay or a segment of this, make sure you go and watch that discussion too. They put out their meeting minutes. The vote and a meeting is coming up later this week. We're recording on the 2nd of February. And they'll vote on what is going to be called Neville Arena Team Support Improvements, a $9 million project. And it will include renovations, not expansion, renovations to the existing practice gym, scholarship lobby upgrades, and relocated enlarged team meeting office spaces within men's and women's basketball. So this is an investment across the board, not just for men's, mind you. One more quote, and then we can kind of discuss it a little bit. Due to the heavy use of the competition floor and existing practice gym, the project's originally proposed scope of work included the construction of an additional practice gymnasium and expanded support spaces. However, during the design process, the athletics department adjusted the scope to properly and reasonably address the original project goals without requiring the construction of an additional gym. The athletics director and coaches, all of these are in agreement, all 3 teams, I would assume that means volleyball, are very supportive of it and are excited about the changes to the team spaces. So there you have it. This isn't something that was done in haste. This is something that obviously is with the support of all of the athletic people that will be utilizing that as their primary space. Remember, gymnastics has their own space. Who else utilizes that, Austin? Is that everybody?
Who else utilizes the gymnastics space?
I'm sorry, just the arena. So you have gymnastics, volleyball, and
men's and women's basketball.
Okay, so we got them all right there. So anyway, your thoughts? Anything about all this?
Yeah, I saw a lot of the uproar too about the we'll call it basketball only facility not happening, and I think that a lot of it, like a lot of things on social media, was passionate and overheated and uninformed and a little misguided. I think that we all want to say that Bruce should get whatever he wants. And I think that that's a totally fair thing to be able to say, and great principle. I don't think that it's necessarily always reason or possible to make happen. Bruce has done everything for Auburn men's basketball and more. However, with certain resources and the way they are, like location, like money, different things just aren't as unlimited as we would like them to be. I do think that renovating this space is good as long as it meets all the needs that were needed met when you thought about a basketball only facility. I don't question that there's issues with all those teams sharing a space and who can practice when. Why I want to go get shots up. You can't right now. Practice being used for so and so practice, or courts being used for so and so practice. I think that this could allow an opportunity for there to be a space for each team, and it not be as annoying or as crowded as it is right now. I think that these student athletes, and I mean all of them, not just men's basketball, work incredibly hard and have a desire to be better at their craft each and every day. And at their current state, the arena might not be able to do that. Right. A $9 million renovation is nothing to sniff at, and I think that this can do something that helps that. Certainly, I'm of the opinion that I think a basketball-only facility, just like Walsto's football facility, something that is a absolute mega ship, mothership, Star Wars type looking thing that gets all the national people talking, is what Auburn basketball needs in order to continue to maintain itself as a blue blood and an elite program.
Sure.
At this time, and with what's to come on college athletics revenue sharing and all the changes still to come, it might not be the most feasible option right now.
Right.
I don't think Bruce is super, I don't think he was super surprised, but I'm sure he's disappointed. We all want something better. We all want something when we want it, but I think there's a certain timeline to these things in order to help do it the right way, just like we talked with the football expansion. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I think that this can help for now. We'll see what the future looks like for the basketball program. I'll be honest, though, too. I think that what can help the basketball program is having people step up to donate and to help say, I want to earmark it for these things. I'm not saying that's not happening, but on the certain levels that other things are happening, maybe those are to come as Auburn continues to get more successful, puts more guys in the league. I think you can see an easy path where baseball has a lot of donations for it because of the success they've had in putting guys in the major leagues and things like that. Yep. Auburn's basketball is working towards that. So hopefully this is a start of things to come, and we'll get down the road.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think it's important to remember that the goals were important, not exactly just getting what was originally envisioned. Goals matter, not necessarily the high blue sky dream. So that is being met. Everybody's on board with it. And hopefully they will, maybe this by the time you're watching or listening to this, the vote will be yes. And we can start seeing something, hearing about something, because I know that's what everybody wants, is what's the best for Auburn, for men's and women's basketball, for volleyball, for everything Auburn. And I know that's at the heart of the discussion. Just do yourself a favor. Make sure you're informed before you make your comments in places like social media and stuff in the future.